now.
3, 2, 1.
Yay.
Happy Wednesday, people.
What?
Or as I like to say, happy hump day. It's 80 plus degrees. I am Kris. This is the Kris the Critic show. I'm here with the beautiful, the talented, the lovely Gina B. Gina B, say hello to the people in the streets.
What's up, people in the streets?
How was your...
In the hot streets.
It's the hot streets. Oh, happy belated Mother's Day. I don't think I was able to get that out last week.
For the mamas, the multiple baby
For the mamas, the aunties that act like mamas, for the mamas who are not here, for the grandmamas, for the aunties, for the dads who act like mamas. So, actually, we'll leave you out till Dad's Day.
Yeah, it's not their day.
It's not their day.
No.
I apologize. A lot happening in the news.
Whole lot.
Before we do that, this day in history, random fact, it is Louis Eugene Walcott's birthday.
Okay.
We know him as Louis Farrakhan. He's 89.
Oh, is he 89?
Billionaire, or 18 over billionaire Rupert Murdoch's birthday is today. He's worth $19 billion. And a relationship host is no longer with us this week, who was with us last week. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
Pour some out for your homie.
He's gone to the Golden Shores.
I'll be pouring mine into my mouth.
Yo, Noop, we know you up there giving them hell. Now,
yeah.
this is not a time to badmouth him, but if you guys want to throw in some Kevin Samuel barbs, I'll defend it during the show. But today, we're talking about something hopefully most of us can use. Keeping folks out of your business. Specifically relationship business, or as I like to say, keeping folk out of your business. Say I say it like that. Can you say
business?
Business. Oh, I like you do it to the side. You like business.
Business.
You look
the hair toss.
You look real good with
Let's
that.
do that.
I liked it. So, here are a couple scenarios. I want to know who do you talk to in these.
Okay.
I'm going to run through a few. Don't answer them all until you hear all of them.
All right, wait.
And guys out there, let me know what you've done, if you've done anything. Or if you've had a scenario where you've talked to somebody about a relationship problem and you know what, it sort of made it worse. So, your boyfriend was on the phone with an ex until 1 a.m. It bothered you. Who do you talk to? Your girlfriend compared you to past boyfriends during a heated argument. Well, you know, Tyrone would never do this. And Johnny, I'm just used to men doing this. I'm not used to men. My past men did that. Talk to somebody about it. Or, you got into an argument, you're married, your wife threw a book at you. You called your mama. How did that turn out?
Not well.
Your husband got upset, slammed the door shut, shattered the glass to the door. I apologize.
I'm like, what's all this ringing?
Making noises. Or, fellas, you suspect that your girlfriend may have stepped out on you. What do you do? So, Gina B, are these scenarios that you've heard about?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean...
What do people normally do?
Some people, people who do the wrong thing. We want to talk about that?
Yeah, well.
They go to Facebook and they leave these weird... like cryptic but not cryptic posts.
They do.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people do appeal to
when you think you know somebody but you really don't, and then they, it's like, well, I'm sorry, what happened?
I will mention social media later on. In
social media is really big, but you have to be careful.
What's wrong with venting on social media? And what do you think?
Because vague booking is what I call it.
What did you call it?
Vague booking, where you're not really talking about the actual thing that happened, but you talk about it enough to the point where it causes people to wonder, like what's going on, and it may actually garner a couple of phone calls from people. Like, did you just fight with your man? Or it kind of raises the gossip.
But do you think that people? I mean, it's possible to get some good advice from a friend, right?
Yes, I think you have to choose your friend wisely, though.
Okay. I think most friends have good intentions. Elaborate.
Some friends have good intentions. So
I don't know if I agree with
you have to kind of, so the way I see it, the way I've always conducted it, you have to be careful about who you vent to, because everyone's got a vent. And some people just can survive nicely without venting at all, and that's great for them. Some people just need to vent. They need to let it out. And when you do that, you need to choose someone who understands that what you're doing is just venting.
Okay.
They listen to you. They keep it moving. They don't hold anything against your significant other. And they definitely don't go back and say, girl, you know, they were having a fight last night and he took a golf club. I mean, whatever.
Right.
Let's hope it didn't get
Because
there.
they will gossip.
But they will. They'll gossip about it. And then generally the fights that couples have, they figure out how to get over them, right?
Okay.
But then their friends are all invested because they've told their friends about it. And so now you can't, I had to turn mine on. Now you can't.
One of your several phones.
My 12 phones. Now you can't come back from it, right? Because now you've got people who are invested in your problems.
Right. It's tricky. The who do you talk to part, right?
Right.
And we're going to go into reasons. Of course, I prepared a small list.
Kris got a list.
On reasons why you don't want to talk to people. That's the meat of the presentation. But before we even get to that, if there's someone to talk to, who do you talk to? Do you talk to one of your close friends? If you're a woman, a lot of girls
maybe
been in similar
you've got
problems.
some friends who you should have some friends. I feel like you should have some friends who understand that you're venting and know when to stay out of it and know, just not to try to get all up in your shit.
Do you think guys should talk to some of their boys, their homies?
I mean, they could. It depends on what kind of relationship you have with that friend. Like, every friend is not created equally, though.
Should a man or woman talk to their mom or dad?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because your mother is always on your side. Like, she's not really going to give you.
You will not get.
She will not give you an unbiased view from your mama. And I've known people whose mothers will, because they know who they've given birth to, so they know,
right.
well, this is what
you ain't shit. Sometimes it goes the other way.
Right.
You talking to your son, you know what you did. Got that good girl over there messing it all up. It might make it worse.
Like,
for you.
my fiance's mother would stick up for me, probably.
And that's bad, because fellas, your girl could be sleeping with the mailman.
Okay, there's no sleeping with anyone, but I'm saying
it happens.
It does happen, but
your mama might say, shame on you thinking that nice girl would do that. So don't talk to
maybe.
you.
I mean, I don't agree with that. Because
coworker or relative?
Coworker, no.
Well, coworkers, some people talk to coworkers because the coworker doesn't have a relationship.
But the problem is, once you let a coworker into your personal business, then the coworker is in your personal business.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
that doesn't need to be at work. Maybe a coworker that you've turned into a friend,
or an ex-coworker.
Yeah, or
somebody who's not in your,
someone who's not there, not in your sphere.
Right, gotcha.
Because you don't want to. Here's the other thing too. If you talk to a coworker, that means that you're at work where you should just be going to get your mind off of things, and now you're talking about whatever problem you have with your significant other.
Yeah. What about a relative?
It depends on the relative. Like, honestly, like, it depends on the relative.
I don't think you talk to any of these people, by the way. I'm just letting you know. We'll get to why I think that.
I personally,
I don't think you talk to any of these people.
I don't.
Okay.
But it depends on, if you've got a real cool, like, cousin, and, like, you're a cousin / friends, right?
Funk that, but okay, go ahead.
Who will give you a truthful view.
Right.
Of maybe it's you, or maybe it's them, but they won't.
Here's one of the reasons I'm not a believer in that, people. And I know y'all looking, Kris, I talked to so-and-so and she gave me some good advice. No, she didn't. She lucked up if she did. People gossip. That is the reason. From Spin Diddy, look it up online, May 2002, Kris the Critic will always point out a source. 80% of all conversation is gossip.
80%?
80% of all conversation
really?
is gossip. Think about if you're just looking through social media. Are people giving you a lot of news usually? They're usually gossiping about something.
Or they're talking about life.
And as I tell people, great minds talk about ideas. Average minds talk about events. Small minds talk about people.
I don't feel like I gossip on social media,
I've just insulted everybody. Because we all talk about people.
We all talk about people, but I mean, I don't know. I spend more time talking about ideas or like funny situations.
Do you? Shall I go to your social media?
Yeah, we can talk about my Home Depot post, which is not. I've made a couple of posts recently. I can tell you exactly what I post. I always post a funny situation, which is not gossip because I just make
Kevin Samuels post.
No, I did make one. I mean, here's why. Because and I'll tell you why. Because people kept asking me what I thought about it, as if I gave him any thought. And I was like, look, let me just blanket statement this.
Thought.
Not really.
It
No.
was really
I've watched 2 of his shows, probably because of you. I've watched 2 of his shows.
I don't have it.
No, because
I said rest in peace.
We have a relationship show, so therefore relationship topics get introduced, right? So, but my point.
We all got you.
I'm just saying. But my point here about Kevin Samuels was that I just didn't give him enough thought to give him.
Now
I didn't care.
Now the good thing is, only 5% of that 80% is malicious gossip. So a lot of times we're all just sitting around talking crap. All right, so relax. It's okay, a little gossip.
Gossip is okay.
Makes you feel okay.
Sometimes it's fun.
But, if you think a lover has betrayed you, it sort of makes it worse, right?
Oh,
think about how many songs have been made about gossip. I mean, 1 million.
A lot of songs are made about betrayal.
I heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah.
Gossip song. But, without further ado, and you scan to see if anything profound has popped up, here are some, in no particular order, reasons, and I want to know what you think about it, why you should never, ever include a lot of folks in your business. You mentioned this early, as you always do. Friends are never, ever objective. They will always pick your side. You could have made the mistake of all mistakes. If you're looking for someone to pat you on the back, your friends will do that and say you're right.
That's what friends are for.
They are. So, but conversely, what are they now going to think? You get back with dude, or you get back with her. Now, what are they saying? Because they don't know all the good, intimate stuff they do at the meals.
Yeah, no one talks about the good stuff. Everyone vents about the bad
stuff. So, what
shit.
do they think about him or her now?
Well,
he
if
ain't
they're your
shit.
friends.
Girl, he ain't. Now they're gossiping about him.
No, but really, if they're okay, so this is why I say pick your friends wisely, because there's a handful of friends that you will have who are in your life to the point where they understand your relationship. But then there are friends. But see, then there are nefarious people. But we can get into that later.
But even your good friends are going to tell someone, because that's what they do. Girl, she going through with dude. I knew he wasn't shit. Blah blah. Now they don't have any ill intent. It's just what people do.
They just talk.
So unless that person is gone in the past, in the wind,
they just like talk.
Do not, because they will always. It'll cause more harm in your relationship, because then they'll be like, girl, I don't even know why you with him. Anytime something will happen.
Right. Oh, yeah. People will make... Yeah.
And when you start doing that, they get too damn comfortable in their relationship, in your relationship.
That's the thing you need to avoid.
You get dudes like this, man, I was really, she cool, man. I really like her. Or girls are like, well, I'm just getting used to him. I'm like, dude, or girl, why do you even need to get used to them?
Right, you don't have to. It's not your
situation.
Because
they will constantly park their opinion, and I'm telling you, your business to be out in these streets, it'll make it worse. Relationships are hard enough already.
They are. Without having a whole lot of extraneous opinions.
Any relationship that goes any length of time will be tested. When you first meet people, it's always the honeymoon period. Everyone's showing their best self. But if you want it to last, you spend that time building a bond with the person you're with.
Yes.
And we'll talk about how you communicate and all of that.
Right. Exactly.
And also, most of our friends, not my friends.
I can't wait to hear what you're about to say. Okay, go ahead.
People just suck at relationships, and some people actually get jealous.
Yeah.
Think about it. Your friend has had a man and whoever, or it just never works. How they look giving you advice, and you really asking them for advice, and you think it's going to work?
Well, the thing is, a good friend will know the difference between when you want advice and when you just want to vent. Sometimes you don't want to have advice. Sometimes you're just like, I'm just going to get this out. I don't need advice. I just need to say this, and then I'm done. Right?
Do you have a lot of friends that can just
yes.
And they just won't say anything?
I don't have a whole lot.
No,
right?
I'm saying,
but
where you can say,
I have at least
I'm about
3.
to say all of this stuff, and you talk about his gambling, his drug use, his...
We don't have those problems.
I'm
like, no.
I'm throwing out some extremes. Him hitting you that time or pushing you, and you think they won't have an opinion.
Okay, I have about 3 friends. They could have opinions, but they don't share them with me because they know that if I am ever doing this, that all I really want is to get it out of my system, then I'm good.
I've asked friends' opinion plenty of times. Probably still will. And then sometimes I even think, now why the fuck did I even tell him for in the first place? Because his ass don't know better. And some people become jaded, right? They've been in countless relationships that didn't work. I know guys who say, man, you know they all the same. I don't even know why you expect different. I mean, misery loves company.
Oh, misery does love company. So the last thing you want, this is why you need to choose the right people to vent to, right?
Yeah.
Because the wrong people will take you down the wrong path.
And opinions, I tell people all the time, it sounds crude.
Like
Opinions
assholes?
are like assholes.
I knew you would say that.
Everybody has one.
They all stink.
And most of them.
So,
not that I've gone around.
I'm like, okay.
I would imagine it most. But yeah.
Some people are like, I don't have friends, I have family. That's Jonathan McKinney.
Family.
Jamal.
I love family, but
problems.
Family can make you stay in a relationship if they like that person. I had an ex that I couldn't get rid of because my family, well, she part of the family. No, she not. But that's on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't married. Why am I bringing this person around? My relationship wasn't solid enough yet. And I shouldn't have had that. It's hard getting rid of people.
Nikki Turner says it's not so much about a good friend as much as it's about a mature friend. Are you messy? Your friends will be like you. Well, see,
good point,
okay,
Nikki Turner.
That's a good point because that's kind of what I mean.
That's
like
point.
If you've got good friends and who are mature friends, which I hope they are, then it's but like I said, that's what you want.
80% of all conversation. Let's go back to the source.
It's gossip.
It's gossip. So, and I'm not even saying they have ill intent. I'm just saying we are better served trying to work that out first to the nth degree. We are grown folk. We know how to, we've given advice, but folks seem to be bad at when they're giving it to themselves. They just want to talk.
People don't want to take advice.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's the deal.
I stopped asking people because my friends ride with me. They're like, man, fuck that shit. Fuck that and fuck that. I'm like, yeah, let's go kill her.
Every problem doesn't need to be solved by your friend. Like, your friends can't. It's just sometimes
I just don't see the good that comes out in it. Also, they want to stay in the loop. That was another one.
They do want to stay in the loop.
You confided in them, right? You said, I'm just going to ask you this. I just want to get it out. And I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen. I got an event. And a week later, girl, how you doing? How's the situation?
Yeah.
How's this? Didn't I tell you?
I just need to get it out.
And they're trying to be a good friend. Right. But it doesn't help your relationship.
Well, but you know what? See, this is the point. This is why. Okay, so Nikki Turner's point was really good. Because your mature friends understand that everyone has ups and downs.
Sure.
And they can vacillate like all day, right? Like they can go from amazing to
Did you say vacillate?
I did.
I got one of the coldest co-hosts in these online streets. I'll say something. Use another big word. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It can be exacerbated by the wrong friend. How'd you like that one?
I liked it.
Okay. So
shout out to Jonathan McKinney. He's hilarious.
No, but you know what? Like relationships. This is life, okay? Not just relationships. This is life. Life ebbs and flows, right?
Sure.
So one day is a great day. The next day sucks. The next day might be a fantastic day. You might love your job one day and hate everybody in your office the next day. It's just how it goes.
Agreed.
And relationships are just a microcosm of life.
Absolutely. But why?
But why talk about it? Is that what you're asking?
I'm just saying, and I am an expert, don't involve your friends.
I don't disagree with you,
Even
but I'm saying.
friends with the best intent. And for anybody who just joined, threw out a stat, 80% of people gossip. Eventually, even though they have your best interest, you confide in your friend, X, Y, and Z happen. You give that friend advice, and then you immediately like, girl, you hear what's going on with so-and-so? So, now you hate dude, they still with the person.
Right.
So now your friend is feeling that stress. Anytime y'all all together.
Sorry.
It's better not
Is he going to beat her, girl?
Yeah. You know he ain't shit. She got back with him. I'd have left him.
Well, there's, you do have to watch what you share, right? Now, so let's talk about the differences in what you share.
Well, we get to that.
Okay, cool.
I just had a couple more. friends hold a grudge longer than you.
They do. Oh my God. Your friends will hold a grudge forever.
So you forgive an old girl, and your boys are like, nah, she sucked on the mailman, homie. I can't get past.
What kind of friends you got?
Can't get past. I'm just making up an extreme example.
I'm like, that don't happen in my friends.
Entertainment, Gina B.
I'm just saying.
It's entertainment.
I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying. Or females, women.
Yeah.
That sounded bad. Women can hold a grudge against the guy. Girl, is he the same person that did so-and-so? You know what? You'd have been better served. Unless you just walk it out and it's over. So, and lastly, and most importantly, before we move on, most friends give bad advice. Usually we ask the wrong person. We asking people.
So the wrong person.
First off, it's not like, that many exemplary relationships.
No.
Right?
There aren't.
It's not like we just people.
Well, every relationship is flawed in its own way.
We ask who's around. All my childhood friends aren't the best folks. I trust them. But I tell them I ask them stuff maybe they don't know nothing about. We all do it. Because we're comfortable with that person. Doesn't make that person an expert. And again, the biggest thing is they can't be objective. They're on your side. They're never going to tell you you're wrong. Well, girl, you had a reason to do what you did. Because he did so-and-so. It's not good advice. They give bad advice.
No, it's terrible advice.
Oh, and you mentioned social media earlier, right?
I did.
Here's why you don't use social media for your relationships. 88% of folks, 88, acknowledge using social media to find out something about their ex.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So,
people Google stalk and social media stalk
here you are,
all the time.
Airing your laundry, and she said, I knew it. I knew that chick wasn't this, that, and the other. Or you get a dude salivating. I knew dude was shit. It's still a chance for me. And then they slide up in somebody's DMs. Do not. And you notice, kudos to a lot of, I don't want to hate on my single folks out there. But you can almost tell when somebody's single online.
Oh, you can totally tell.
They're loud as hell.
Yeah,
They mad at the world. They'll say anything.
Yeah, they can tell. You can tell. You can totally
they're entertaining. They have the funniest posts.
They're highly entertaining.
By far.
But you can tell.
But they are the people, the men or women, who jump out and just bash the hell out of a damn post.
Or some people just like to share.
But it's almost like they don't always say married people act as if their job is looking at a post. And a lot of single people act like, I don't give 2 fucks.
Who
sees
shit?
This motherfucker? Negroes ain't shit. And I meant it. All the negative Kevin Samuels hate quotes, 85% single women.
Yeah.
I'm saying that. Married women kept their mouth shut because they were like, shit, some of that shit true.
Well, then there are people that are of the school of thought, and tell me if we want to.
See, I just slid that in there.
I know, I heard you.
Shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace.
Whatever, I'm passing that one up. But anyway, so there are some people who are of the. I don't agree with either extreme, right?
Right.
One extreme is I don't acknowledge my significant other at all on social media. I feel there's something a little bit shady about that, but that's just me personally.
Yeah,
right?
Excessive is, but you should.
I feel like that's a little
you
bit much,
people
right?
People
are just like. I don't disagree with keeping your relationship private until it doesn't have to be. Do I?
Ever? No, you're just a cold.
No, it isn't that. It's just that's not really
person.
No, that's not really his deal. I mean, he's not really.
I got it.
Lee moves around a little too.
You just mentioned his name on social media.
I mention his name all the time on social media.
Thought you didn't do that.
Have you seen my Facebook page? He's all over it. I just, you know what though? I mentioned it to a natural degree. He is part of my life. So therefore he will appear in my social media. He will not be in most of my social media.
I got it.
But if we're out somewhere, I'm not going to be like, no, I can't have a picture with him, because then people might know. People might know what? Who cares, right? Sure. As long as you don't let them penetrate it, it's all good. But, people can know who I'm with. I don't care, Unless I'm being shady, in which case maybe, but I'm not being shady.
Are you?
Have I been shady for the last,
You're
No, I'm not.
Shooter.
I'm a pretty straight shooter. Sorry. But, but I had shady moments, let's be clear.
Everybody does.
But they're not now.
Now you want to move on to what? That was all my reasons why we shouldn't share our. We should keep folks out of your business.
So you're talking about arguments, right? So this is the thing. There are other things that you have to be careful about sharing too.
Okay.
Not just when you're not getting along, but you have to be careful about sharing the good stuff too.
Oh yeah, do not tell him, girl. He's slanging it.
Yeah, don't do that.
He needs to be in another industry.
Because someone will be trying to get in.
Girl,
on that.
really? What's that? Girl, you see this water bottle? This is all I'm saying. I couldn't even do it. So that is.
Yeah, don't do that. Like, don't be too. And I've seen guys do that too, where they're just like, they're.
Oh yeah.
I had a friend who was always excited about telling people about his girlfriend's fellatio capabilities, and the next thing you know, her boys, his boys. I'm not telling you.
I just want to see if I know him.
No.
All right, go ahead.
She's not on social media.
I'll try it though. What's her name?
The next thing you know, his boys were trying to get in there when he wasn't around.
Absolutely, that's what folks do. But
if they had not had an inkling before.
But think about how many women and fellas, think about how many men have told you about somebody. Now, if this is somebody they don't care about.
If it's a fling, who cares?
Who cares? Girl, this community anyway.
Women talk.
It's community anyway.
Right, it's community.
Go ahead and jump on.
It's community.
I get it. But usually, I see people do this when it's like somebody sort of special. You know what I'm saying?
Right. When it's someone sort of special, you just could confine it. You don't talk about it at all.
Yeah, I don't ask that.
Because
now,
you
if
don't
throw
want
it out
people.
there, I'm gonna listen.
Well, of course you're gonna listen.
But
that doesn't mean you need to share.
And I'm getting research because that's what I do. I'm a researcher.
You don't want to. Let's look at some comments. Okay.
You look at the comments.
Nikki Turner says, I had a guy I was dating get all braggadocious about dating me to an ex of mine. So guess what? He stirred up.
Why, Nikki?
And
Why
my
Nikki
phone
Turner?
rang.
Well, Nikki Turner, what was he bragging about?
Khalid's like, that dude is bitch ass and deserves that.
Very bitch ass.
That is bitch ass. You were right.
I want to know what the guy was bragging about. Nikki Turner, by the way, if anybody's watching, is a very smart woman who probably cuts me down all the time. We, at some point, need to have her on the show.
And wait, Jamal, I'm trying to figure out what Jamal is referring to. Okay, so are y'all seriously condoning the reaction of others from stopping you from living your best life? Okay, no.
Others do influence our lives, though.
They do, but you know what? Here's how I feel about it personally. Others do not define my existence.
True.
So I don't care how people feel about me and what I do.
If you really meant that, or if people really meant that, they wouldn't ask.
They would. I don't ask.
Well, you've never asked anybody for advice or opinion.
My friends whose opinion I hold in high esteem.
That's all I'm saying.
But not like randos.
They're going to give you wrong advice for the reasons I just stated.
You weigh the advice, right? You weigh the advice, and you have to think of the advice according to the source.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't it? If someone has an ulterior motive,
leave your friends out of it. But it's not even an ulterior motive. Remember what we said. By nature, they're not going to be objective. They're going to ride with you no matter what.
Okay.
And they're
Let me give you a scenario.
They're going to hate the guy forever if he's done something really bad, even though you got back with him. Then they're going to gossip. There is no good scenario.
Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. Okay. It's not good. Let me just give you a scenario though.
Is it made up?
We can open the.
It can be made up.
It's going to be hypothetical.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Hypothetical. Hypothetically,
I am listening.
You've had a good female friend. Okay.
Friend or somebody I'm dating?
Friend who wanted to get with you. But you were like, it's not really my thing. Not my jam. Right? Like someone who wanted to get with you, you didn't want to get with, so you're friends? That doesn't happen ever? That has never happened?
I was joking.
Okay, just making sure. So, let's just say you had a friend who wanted to get with you and you were just like, nah, I'm not happening. But we can be friends, right?
Okay.
And then you...
Wait a minute, they want to get with me.
They did want to get with you.
Okay.
And you were like...
You
gave her the Heisman.
Okay, go ahead.
Gave her the Heisman. Okay. Gave her the Heisman. She, you're not into her. Not into her. So then you get in a relationship with a woman you're very serious with. But you have become friends with this other woman that wanted to get with you. Okay.
I don't really make a lot of female friends, but okay.
Dude, can you just roll with
I'm going to roll with it.
Can you suspend some disbelief for a minute?
All right, let's go.
Just to have a little bit of conversation.
All right, let's go. I'm sorry.
So, you're a friend.
I'm a friend.
And, but she, isn't a fan of your woman because really she's still envisioning maybe the two of you can one day ride off into the sunset together. So therefore,
okay, that happens frequently.
So she's
vice versa.
So that means that she's like a termite, right?
Meaning?
Meaning she's trying to get all up in.
But that happens both ways.
Okay, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm
got
just
it.
giving you the hypothetical
I got
that
it.
you can relate to. Okay, fine. It does happen both ways. There are dudes
Right.
that your girl will be friends with who
Where
are
we
just
going with
waiting.
this?
My point is, you can't confide in that person because that person will look for any entree to break you two up.
And I'm saying you can't confide in any person. So
I'm
I agree
saying that,
with you.
yes. But I'm saying that's also a pitfall, is my point.
Right.
We're providing pitfalls for the audience, and that's a pitfall.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I think the audience
So you have to consider...
is smart enough to know that.
You think? It happens a lot, though.
For anyone just joining the show, we're talking about keeping folks out of your relationship or out of your business, right? We rattled off some, things, why you should keep them out. And I was going to quick recap for those, friends are never objective. They're always going to take your side. They'll get comfortable in your relationship. They get bad advice. They gossip. We talked about a lot of people gossip. There are some ways to keep, and these are good practice habits, I think.
To keep people out your business.
To keep people out your business.
Out your business.
Out your business. First, family and friends. Family gets on my nerves more than friends sometimes.
Family can be a lot.
Too much.
Way too much.
Like, I need 5 relatives. Fuck it. My mama. Well, I need 1. Well, maybe 2 or 3. Anyway, give your family and friends only general information, right? They don't need to know what he's doing or working with or her fellatio game, if she has one.
They don't need to know what her kink is.
Right.
You know.
They don't need to
that
know,
shouldn't come up.
They don't need to know what her fetishes are.
Right.
Freaks.
Because everyone will listen. Let's be clear. They just
They
don't
will
need
be
to
right
know.
there. You mentioned the wrong thing. You basically just said, "Hey, everybody, I'm trying to get you to take my woman or man."
Right.
Don't be dumb.
She likes
No
anal.
matter how good
Don't
it
do
is.
that.
I shouldn't say this. Well, I
Go
hooked
ahead,
somebody
you
up with
started
somebody.
Uh-huh.
And the person thanked me so much. They said, I'll buy you drinks anytime we go out. This is me.
You're like, what?
Do I need to, can I pimp this dude?
Ooh,
Can I sell that?
Can I sell that?
I'll pimp.
Oh, she was saying that. You fixed
Exactly.
her. And
But
she
I
was
told
like,
her,
thank
you
you.
need not.
He was getting his Jesse Williams on.
Jesse Williams is in the news, by the way.
He is in the news.
For any Jesse Williams
He's in the
fan,
nudes.
Apparently, Jesse Williams, what was the show he was on?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
In his anatomy.
His anatomy was in a play, Full Frontal. For you ladies.
I haven't seen the unblurred version. If you've got that,
I heard
drop it in the.
on the radio, WGCI morning show. Kendra, she won't mind me saying this, we're friends. She was looking for the real photo that wasn't blurred, and she was like,
Okay.
"If any of my listeners out there, I thought it was hilarious." Of course, Leon said, "You're objectifying men. We don't like it." So anyway, Jesse Williams is out there, and apparently it's something to see. Thank you. You're welcome. See, I don't just have the dudes out. But here's why how to keep folks out of your business. Give general info. Never be too emotional, right? Can you imagine that? You're way emotional. You call your cousin Ray. I can't believe what he did. He cheated. I just want to Ray coming to hurt him.
Right.
So never be too emotional, right?
Right.
So
Don't be too emotional about other people. Well,
you don't do it. You get somebody killed.
I just, okay, once again, see, Nikki Turner is the MVP today.
What is Nikki
She's
over
making
here saying?
some really good points. She's like, it's this lost thing called intimacy where you leave things between the two of you.
Absolutely, Nikki.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. The whole point, like, we are so, excited about sharing shit.
Absolutely.
We want to have public everything.
Right.
Public fighting, public everything.
I'm guilty of it.
What do you do publicly? You don't
I like
realize.
sharing my food.
Yeah, that's food. Okay, that's not really an intimate moment.
I took the kids out to the lake.
I saw that this
took
morning.
the
I was going to
kids.
bring that up. You and the kids out at 5-something in the morning.
I got a problem.
No, but you know what? That
We
was
both do. That's why
that
we
was
do this show.
inspirational. That was
That's why we do this
motivational.
show. I am
Right.
trying to motivate people.
But you know what? I've been a relationship columnist for a long time, and there are
Yeah, she
still
throws
things
it
that
out.
I kind of keep.
Really?
Yeah, because first of all, nobody wants to be bored to death,
True.
right? Like you asked me, how is everything with it?
I didn't mention them. But
like,
again,
I mean, I have nothing really to talk. I mean, like, he's working a lot. I'm working a lot. I mean, it's like, you don't want to hear that. Like, nobody wants to hear that. I don't have anything exciting to share. But,
yeah. So.
And if I argue with him, it's about, like, food.
That's right. They do have some serious arguments. I'd say
about food.
Like, maybe they both need to talk to somebody. But that's another thing.
We go to therapy for that.
We talked about don't tell your friends what he's working with, she's working with. Don't do it. For those of us who do believe in a higher power, every now and then I say pray, but not for the sake that you want God to come down and do something, but it sort of levels you out, right?
Right.
I always tell people, even if I'm a believer, but even if no God existed, a byproduct is human decency and empathy for someone else, right?
Yeah.
So it levels you out a little bit before you, engage in whatever feud or battle you're going to.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, no public feuds. Stop it. Don't we all wake up some mornings and you know when somebody just headed out?
Sometimes it's on video.
Negroes think they can just talk to me any old way.
Kind of way.
They're going to find out today.
They're going to learn. Fuck around and find out.
All the time. You picked the wrong one.
But you know what? I mean, there have been moments like that, where you just, shit culminates and you're in public.
You're doing that for attention.
Like, really?
Because you got all your friends inbox. Girl, what happened? Girl, what happened? Stop it. Because you end up back with him or her the next week. Now we're talking about both of y'all.
Usually there's a lot of liquor involved in those situations. Too.
Really? In the early morning?
Generally. No. I'm talking about like those public feuds at night. Like when you're out at a club or something and there's like, that's usually a liquor-induced feud.
You think so?
Usually.
Liquor has made people be blatantly honest. It makes people lie. It makes people do everything.
Liquor does some bad things to people.
Yeah.
That's why I don't. I'll tell you a little secret. Oh, gin. No, I cannot drink gin. Gin will either have me dancing on tables or fighting in the streets.
I love gin.
It's a bad combo for me.
This is a big one. How to keep your business out, because many
out
these streets. Many times, write this one down. I always drop a jewel every now and then. Many times we put our business out there because of the previously mentioned, we are emotional about it. We mad as hell. We want to fight. We are a be right, argumentative society. A lot of us would rather win an argument than win in the relationship.
Yeah, they'd rather be right.
I want to catch him. I don't want the relationship to work. I just want to catch him. I just want to say he lied. I want to get on his nerves or her nerves, or, try to win. But I say that to say, learn how to disagree. Civil, like with some civility.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Have a good argument style. Civility.
Learn how to disagree. Have a civil argument.
Right.
You don't have to yell to express how you feel. You don't have to cut someone off to express how you feel. You don't have to recall the last 9 people who've done you wrong when talking to the person you're in a relationship with.
You don't. Well, you have to approach it. Oops. You have to approach it as if you still want to be in this relationship tomorrow, right? So
correct. All of this.
There are some things that you shouldn't say.
Here.
Like you shouldn't say things like you just like yo funky ass mama or whatever it is. That's
mama eat rocks.
You have to be cognizant of things you say because those things cannot be taken back, right? So
they can.
That's one.
By the way, my phone sucks. If you see any good comments.
I keep looking.
I can't.
I'm on top of it. But
like
but that's just an argument style. We can do a whole other show on styles.
But yeah, you have to learn how, because people right now, I mean, I've had male friends call me just going nuts, and maybe it's something else. Women go nuts. People just go nuts. We have a very argumentative society.
Yeah, and then, I don't know. We're turning this into argument styles, but this is an interesting point. We need to get back on the rails for a minute. But Jamal is like, wait, what? A civil fight?
Maratuka?
Yes, your boy. It's a fight, somebody.
So,
and in
Jamal,
my case, everyone going to be embarrassed. Okay. And then Monica Levy, your girl, is like, and women shouldn't emasculate men in a fight.
Who
in
said
anger,
that?
In anger, Monica Levy.
Did Monica Levy Rowland say that?
And women shouldn't emasculate men in anger.
That
so you
is
cannot,
excellent.
ladies, do not call him a punk ass bitch in a fight. Do not tell him, ladies, to suck your dick. Like, that is the wrong thing to say.
That's gangster, though. I mean, women out here do that.
Sometimes.
That's why they get choked up. I'm not saying that's right.
I may or may not. No. In my past.
In your past boxing career?
In my past boxing career.
Yeah.
That hit harder than a uppercut, though, really.
You have to know, you got to pick your fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't go to war with him because he's watching a football game, right? Now, if it's a big mountain of an issue with you that sort of moves your soul, you know, he's talking about converting over to, you know, being an atheist, and you don't know if you can be, that's something you might get a little passionate about. But a lot of stuff, it's really not that serious.
Most of it isn't. And a lot of what you're fighting about is sometimes about you more than it's about that person.
Pick the right time to discuss things.
Oh, timing. Do not argue with a drunk man.
Never.
Or a drunk woman.
Or a drunk woman.
Just don't argue with drunk people.
Or if his brother is in the hospital, he's having a heartfelt conversation, and you just found out something, and you got to stop right now. I don't care what's going on. I come for... It's not going to turn out well. Never. I don't care what you say.
That won't go well.
You know
but we've gotten super derailed. But okay,
Wow.
so
We're
if
talking about
argument styles, but now
that's how to keep people out of your business.
Well, it is how to keep. Okay, so yes, but you don't do these arguments in public,
right?
In front of anyone, right? Because that would be bad.
Okay, what you got? We got a few
Hold that passion until after football if you have a functional brain.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't argue with a man watching a football game. Like, don't any of that. But anyway, so back to keeping people out of your business. It just, here's the deal. Things get very complicated. It's like, you're going to love this, Kris.
Let me hear.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So when you talk about things to other people outside of your relationship,
but don't do it.
The problems metastasize, right? And they spread. It's like a tumor, right? And that when you've cancer, if it hits air, it metastasizes and it spreads all over your body. So it's not anything, you want to contain it to just the issue between the two of you.
True.
It's not healthy to allow other people into that.
Or other issues.
Because you lose intimacy.
Or other issues that had nothing to do with it. Because don't we all do that? We're dating, you make me mad, I start bringing up other shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean...
That's why you need a pedicure. It's like, wait, what? That's why you need to stop eating all them ribs.
Right.
It's like, what are you talking about? That isn't anything.
That's why you said you gained weight. That's why your mama breath stank.
Right.
Never invoke anybody's mom, dad, kid.
Don't do that ever. Never.
You know your kids suck or they kids suck. You don't have to tell them.
You don't have to talk about it.
They know already.
Yeah. Right.
Don't do that.
There is no mystery. You don't have to bring it up and stamp on it and dig your foot into it.
But I was going to say, suggest counseling. I mean, if it's really an issue, there are people not entertaining.
Well, you can pay.
Even though people have been sending me all this stuff, like, look, I just do this for fun. I'm just going to throw it out there, follow it. I'm always right, but I'm not, you go to somebody who gets paid to do that.
Go to a therapist.
Right.
There's all kinds of ways to go to therapy right now.
They do this for a living.
They do.
And they've heard 1,000
there to be
stories
impartial.
just like yours.
Yeah.
Black
and
folks don't like going to counseling, but it's okay. We all crazy and broken anyway.
We have a problem with mental health in our community.
Well, we all crazy. We need it.
Well, my point, though, is that we have problems addressing it. Like, we have problems believing that we need it.
Very true.
And there's no shame in couples counseling. None whatsoever.
I only got a couple more.
Go ahead.
Discuss what you both can both discuss. Meaning, like, similar to what we just said, keep it to the topic at hand and don't talk about stuff and ifs and maybes and what else, and it just conflates whatever you're talking about. And usually that comes when people are like extremely heated. I know that sounded a little tricky, but just keep it to the topic.
Well, and then choose your topics wisely. Like, so for example, I think most women can vent about
anything.
About things being left out,
anything.
About cleanliness, about where you leave the socks, about toilet seats, about all that. All these are mundane topics that all men could violate, right? Like, it's just like, and why can't he put the shit in the dishwasher? I mean, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that these are normal. But but let's not discuss his erectile dysfunction problems or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there are topics that you leave. that you leave between you. Like, there are certain things that you just don't want to share. Like, the mundane things,
But
like,
women-
he left my car with no gas in it. He left my, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff. Talk
He's
about
so
that shit.
damn
That's cool.
insensitive. No.
All men will do that.
But
But
don't talk about, I'm telling you. It's just
but don't go that deep.
Very true.
You know what I mean? Like, you can
No
you can
argument.
vent to your girls. I mean, everyone expects women to vent about specific things.
But don't do it. Resist the temptation.
I mean, you can vent about the mundane things.
Doesn't work.
Like, why is the sink so filthy? Or why is
It
the
doesn't-
garbage everywhere?
No. General
I don't know
information-
one woman that doesn't have that
General
problem.
info only. You can say, yeah, girl, I just got to make sure that, this house stay clean because you know how men are. General info only.
But that every woman can relate to that, right?
Right.
Every woman can.
Don't say he's left 7 pairs of stained underwear.
Don't talk about the skin marks to your girls.
With skin
But-
marks, girl. He just leaves them in the middle of the floor.
You know what's funny? Okay, speaking of that, one of my friends years and years ago was dating this guy, and we used to call him, our nickname for him was Skids.
What's his name?
I'm not telling you.
What's her name?
Our nickname for him was Skids.
How long did she date him after she found out that he was skidding?
About 2 weeks.
She
Like,
dated him 2 weeks after the skidding. She's a trooper. She might be skidding too.
What? but my point is, our nickname for him was Skids. And my thing is, if you cannot be bothered to wipe your ass,
Wow.
I don't know how to help you. But anyway,
That's tough.
But see, this is information that I now have because we used to joke about it. It was funny though.
Next up, if you haven't seen his show, Brian Foster in the Zone is coming up on Facebook. Go to Bree Foster, check it out. Brian and Chantel bring it air week.
Is it Brian and Chantel this weekend, or is it just Chantel?
It's just Chantel.
Who's here? Oh, it's we got B Foss in the house and Chantel. Check that out. And Chantel?
He's one of my
Okay.
favorite podcasts, other than mine.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I'm going to close it up. Read if you got any last questions.
No, okay, so we do actually.
Who we got?
Monica Levy Rowland. How about when the significant other is doing good things? Why
Well-
don't people talk about that?
Because people like gossip. Early in the show, I mentioned that 80% of all conversation, widespread, is gossip. Fortunately, only 5% of that is malicious gossip. But people tend to like something salacious. It's juicy, and I want to tell it.
Yep. And you
Don't
talk
nobody
about,
want to hear your man, I gave you flowers.
but you talk about what irritates you too.
Yeah, people share too much.
I mean, but people want to talk about things that bother them.
And if you go back,
It just is what it is.
for those of us old enough to remember a time when there was no social media, I remember a time there were quiet people and loud people. Everybody loud as hell now. Nobody's quiet. Everyone's an expert on everything. Bottom line is, people, before we get out, first, thank you for joining us.
Yes. Thank you so much.
If you like the broadcast, do your boy a favor. Share it with somebody. Tell somebody. If you see the little post, share it. Like it. Follow it. Tell somebody, you know what, check this out. Next week they're talking about this. It might be something that applies to them.
Or maybe you want to watch one of our old shows. We had some pretty good ones
can.
in the last few
You
weeks.
can go to KRIS.
We talked
Critic.
about plural dating. We talked about all
And
kinds of
somewhere
fun
on
stuff.
YouTube, let me ask my producer. Brian, we're on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Where
We're
are
on
we?
YouTube.
Is it Kris the Critic on YouTube?
I think so.
Cool. Dope.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
So look, bottom line is communicate first with your spouse and act as if you want to be with your spouse. And if you don't, that's a whole nother show.
Yep.
But if you do, and it's worth arguing over, or you have a big disagreement, remember the things that we talked about and keep your friends out your business. Anyway, Kris the Critic, Gina B, we signing out next Wednesday, 6:05 p.m. We'll be right back. Cheer, bringing the dopest. Straight dope, no chaser. Kris, Gina B, we out.
Just
Peace.
like we like our whiskey.
Thanks for joining. Thanks, Gina B, for joining me as always and being the co-host with the mostest. We out.
Hey.
Peace and love, yo.